No, I'm not worried. I mean, whatever happens, happens. You know, I made a commitment several years ago to go wherever God wanted to lead me. Obviously, it wouldn't be my favorite choice if I didn't work for several years afterwards, like I know was the case for Jim. But every situation is different. I think I've been given a lot of grace and opportunity. I have a movie coming out in the fall that is a romantic comedy with a famous American comedian named Kevin James called Solo Mio, and it takes place in Rome, and it has nothing to do with the gospel stories. But it's a fun, wholesome film that, to me, still lines up with my values, and me as a brand can be really proud of. So I hope I get more opportunities afterwards. I'm going to work in faith that does continue, but ultimately I'm not in charge of my destiny. The Lord is. Well, I think that kind of commitment to production value and to story and to script is absolutely necessary. You can have the greatest message in the world, but if you wrap that message up, that you can have a message that gives you the secrets to life in a little piece of paper. If you then wrap that message up with toilet paper, and then you run it through the gutters and through the streets, and it's so disgusting looking, or it's so terrible, and you tell somebody to unwrap that container because there's a great message in there, nobody's going to touch it. They're like, it was been through the streets. Why would I even bother with that? And they'll miss the message. So that's what Christian filmmaking has been like for 20 years. It's been a mode or a method of filmmaking that has a great message, but the quality was so low with everything else, with script, with actors, with dialogue, that it just ended up working against, I think, the people that had this great message, which is about Jesus and God and life and truth. And so in order to reach the people that wouldn't step into a church, or they wouldn't open a Bible, they don't own a Bible, how do you reach that message? Well, you've got to be able to tell stories the way that Hollywood tells stories, which is to the highest degree possible. And so that's how we've approached the projects that's how I've approached the projects that I work on. Is it all starts with a great script, and then do I trust the filmmakers? Do the filmmakers know how to tell a great story? And if the answer to those two questions are yes, it's a great script, yes, I trust the filmmakers, then I'll get involved. And then, hopefully, the project is edited well and does all these things that you need to have a great, to make a great television show or film. So that's the only way that any genre will ever progress forward, is by committing to the highest level possible of quality. I think that happened very early on in my career, where it was in my time playing Jesus, I should say, not my career, but in the first season of The Chosen, I had a moment like that on set in the middle of the season, and it was difficult, but Dallas, the creator of the show, and myself, we kind of talked through it and worked through it. And, I was reminded that even though I didn't feel worthy to be saying these words of Jesus at the time, to be preaching his words and to be seen as him preaching, that ultimately God put me in this situation specifically for a reason, and not somebody else. So that was kind of a relief and a revelation to me, and a reminder that I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And I try to remind myself of that frequently whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed or whatever, that there's a reason why God put me in this role, and I have to trust Him and everybody that I'm working with. I don't know that. I think people know that I'm not Jesus, and I think maybe sometimes people want me to be Jesus, but I could never be Jesus. But I don't mind being identified with him at all. I mean, he was the greatest person to ever walk the earth, so I'm pretty okay with that. Yeah, I think it's deepened my walk with him. It's made me want to be a better version of myself. It's made me want to be kinder to people and to just really work on myself more and try to live out his teachings in my own life. I think every season I do becomes my new favorite. So 5 definitely is my favorite season so far. It was the hardest to film. It was the most challenging, but also I think the most exciting and one of the most spiritually profound seasons that I ever got to film. I had the most dialogue I've ever had in my life in one season. It felt like 2 seasons, 3 seasons together with the amount of dialogue, but there's so much beauty in it, and I'm really proud of the work that everyone did, and it really turned out, I think, really special.